Hello, everyone. So the form we're going to be learning today is a beginner level form. And the way you make it is you just take a verb stem. So the verb stem is simply the unconjugated verb minus the ta at the end. So if you have hada, the verb stem is ha. Now, if you see something like heyo or he or whatever, this is not the unconjugated verb. This is a conjugated form. You cannot use this to get the verb stem, ever. You can't chop off the yo. You can't do anything like that. You have to get to this before you can find the verb stem. So you take the verb stem. If the verb stem ends with a consonant, you're going to attach If the verb stem ends with a vowel, or if the verb stem ends with this letter as well, you're going to attach a lir. Then you attach ga and yo. Now, if you're using the yo form, this will be gayo. If you're not using the yo form, if you're speaking casually or whatever, this can also just be ga. So let's do an example. If we have the verb hada that we had before, that'll become ha. It ends in a vowel, 할까요. If we take the verb 먹다, to eat, 먹, consonant, 가요. If you have the verb 살다, to live, you get 살. It ends in this, so you don't have to do anything. 가요. There are some exceptions which I should talk about. If you have a descriptive verb that ends with this letter as its stem, 피읍, well, this letter will go away. You'll instead attach the syllable 우, and then you'll finish whatever conjugation you're doing. If you have the verb 맵다, to be spicy, well, the stem is 맵, so you remove it, so you get 매울까요, 매울까요. So, what is this form used for? Well, this form is used for asking the opinion of the listener by suggesting a possibility. The English translation for this form can sometimes change depending on whether you're using it for action verbs or descriptive verbs, but the actual meaning in Korean is still staying the same. If you're using an action verb, you can get translations that sound like you're making a suggestion. For example, let's use the verb eat. 먹을까요? So you're asking the opinion of the listener by suggesting a possibility. So it's possible that we eat. And the way we would translate that naturally in English would be something like, shall I eat? Or do you want to eat? Eat? What do you think? I'm suggesting eat. What do you think? Or you could translate it more naturally as something like, should I? Or maybe, should we? Although it doesn't really mean should, that's kind of what we say in English when we're suggesting something. Or, how about? Or maybe, do you want me to eat? Should I eat? Like, hey, eat? I eat? What do you think? That's a possibility of me eating. When you're using it with descriptive verbs, however, you'll translate it a little bit differently. Okay, let's just use to be good. Is it good? It's possible that it's good. So in English, we would say something like, could it be good? Would it be good? Or maybe, do you think it would be good? Let's do an example sentence. 내일 같이 갈까요? 갈까요? So this is from 가다, to go. 내일, tomorrow, 같이, together. 내일 같이 갈까요? So tomorrow, together, what do you think about going? Shall we go tomorrow together? Or should we go together tomorrow? 내일 같이 갈까요? Shall we go tomorrow together? 제가 아침에 전화할까요? 제가 아침에 전화할까요? So 제가 is I, subject marker, so I'm going to be doing something. 아침, in the morning. 전화하다 is to make a phone call, to call. 전화할까요? So shall I call in the morning? Shall I make a phone call in the morning? Shall I call them in the morning? Now, since it is 제가, we know this doesn't mean shall we, but shall I. But if we were to remove this, it no longer means necessarily shall I or should I. It could be. That could translate as shall I or shall we. So adding 제가 makes it clear that I mean shall I. 그럼 다음 주에 영화 볼까요? So then, well then, next week, 영화, a movie. 볼까요? So shall we watch a movie then next week? So let's look at this sentence literally though. Then next week, let me give you a possibility. Watching a movie. What do you think? So what do you think about watching a movie next week? As in, well then shall we see a movie next week? Or should we? Or how about we go see a movie next week? 그럼 다음 주에 영화 볼까요? 커피가 뜨거울까요? coffee is coffee. 뜨겁다 is to be hot. 뜨거울까요? Could the coffee be hot? Would the coffee be hot? Do you think the coffee's hot? 커피가 뜨거울까요? Do you think the coffee is hot? 내일은 더 더울까요? So will tomorrow be hotter? Do you think tomorrow will be more hot? Or would or could tomorrow be hotter? 내일은 더 더울까요? 빨간색은 어울릴까요? 빨간색. Red. 어울리다 is to match with something, to match well. Do you think that red would match? Do you think that red would go well? 빨간색은 어울릴까요? This is an action verb, in case you're wondering. Sometimes you'll find action verbs that translate better as do you think and not as shall. But it can also translate as the same as a descriptive verb sometimes, meaning like do you think. 이 옷은 작을까요? 이 옷. These clothes. 이 옷은. So as for these clothes, do you think 작을까요? Do you think they'd be small? Do you think they're small? Could they be small? Would they be small? You're buying these clothes for a friend. 이 옷은 작을까요? Do you think these would be too small? So you're asking the listener what they think. You're not simply asking, are these clothes small? You're saying, hey, it's a possibility that they're small. What do you think? So it's a different nuance than simply saying, 이 옷은 작아요? 이 옷은 작을까요? So do you think these clothes are small? There's another place that you will see this 가요 form, and that is 일할까. What this form is a shortened version of 일하고 할까. And 할까 here is 말하다. So should I say? How about if I said that sort of meaning? And it's used whenever the speaker is unsure of what to say. And the way it works is you take a noun and you attach 일할까 if that noun ends in a consonant, or just 랄까 if that noun ends in a vowel. Literally then, this form means should I say? And this comes from the verb 이다 again. So you're saying, should I say it is this noun? So let me give you an example sentence. 오래 알고 지낸 느낌이랄까? 오래 알고 지낸 느낌이랄까? So should I say that it's a feeling that we've known each other for a long time? 오래. So should I say it's like I felt we'd known each other for a long time? Should I say it's that feeling? So that sort of meaning. It's like you're talking to yourself. Should I say it's like I just felt we'd known each other for a long time? And that is the lesson. I'll see you next time. 그럼 다음에 또 봐.